Spartans! What is your profession?
Exactly.
Yes, people, another edition of Knightz Roundtable Discussions where we discuss all sports all the time. Got my guys, The Truth, Mr. K.A., and he said he would be back if Arsenal got the result. Jay is with us. How are we doing, people?
Good, man. Nice to see some friendly faces around here in the Arsenal special.
That's right. It's good to see you all, man.
Oh, people, as you can see, I'm surrounded by gooners, but it is what it is. They've had their moment and they're here to celebrate it. As usual, people, before we start, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're loving the support that we're getting, loving the comments, but let's get everything up, and up. It is another edition of the Prem review / preview show, our weekly episodic podcast. Currently got the Milan United game on in the background, so people, if I start cussing, you know why. But let's not waste any time. Let me let these guys have their moment. So North London derby took place over the weekend. 2-1 win at home for Arsenal. Brilliant goal from Lamela, but there was only one team in it until about the 85th minute. Let's really be honest. Truth, I'm going to come to you first. Had yourself and Jay on last week. You said it didn't really mean anything and you're focusing on the Europa. Sum up the performance. Actually, before we start, sum up the team sheet, because we expected a weakened team, but it was a full-strength team, bar Abba, who, you know, obviously got done for being late. But yeah, just the team that was put out and the result, of course.
Yeah, it surprised me really how much we went for it. Maybe because the first leg game.
Sorry.
Paul
Pogba. My God, bro.
This is what I'm talking about.
Ole knows.
Ole is the managerial
genius. Let's not get distracted. I was surprised about the team sheet that we put out. Maybe because we won the first leg so convincingly, which allowed us to put out such a strong team for this for the North London derby. I did predict us to win, only because I think Tottenham are rubbish. I think Mourinho is a fraud. As I've said many times before, he's only got one way of playing. It's so easy to plan against. And if anything, I was more shocked about the reaction of the Tottenham players and how they didn't understand that this was a North London derby. They came out there and for 70, as you said, 70, 75 minutes, they were woeful. Lamela scored a great goal. Creativity at its finest. I love it. Even though it was a bit lucky because it did go through Partey's legs. And I thought Leno, if he was a bit sharper, could have got down a little bit. I'm being a bit overcritical, but I believe, for me personally, Martinez would have saved that because Martinez is the G. But Leno was a bit slow in getting down. He didn't see it too late, so his anticipation isn't there, which I don't like. But apart from that goal and the last 10 minutes, which was stupid, literally that shows though, if Tottenham came out and played football from the get-go, it might have been a different game. But for me, that lies at Mourinho's door. I was happy with the result, more than happy. In the grand scheme of things, I think Expression said it himself, we're still 10th. So it was barely even bragging rights because there was no fans in the stadium. So yeah, it was a good win. I don't want to turn into how Tottenham fans were when they were battling for European places and the North London derby was their cup final. If we do that, that's making my expectations lower than they need to be. So for me, it's just a normal game. We won it. Happy to win it against a top 6 rival. And yeah.
Oh, fair enough. It summed up quite well there, especially the fact that you lot were 10th and you stayed 10th, but it's always good for bragging rights. Jay, gonna come to you, specifically talking about Smith Rowe and Tierney down that left-hand side, Spurs is right. How impressed were you of how dominant the two of them were, considering that they are so young in the game against Spurs?
That start of the game, the way they started on the left-hand side, and Matt Doherty, I know he's an Arsenal fan, and he played like one because honestly, they were just running through that left-hand side. Like, I couldn't believe it. It happened like 6 times in like the first 10 minutes. Smith Rowe's movement, though, for his age, incredible. Obviously, Tierney, we know he can handle that left-hand side all by himself. So, yeah, to be honest, compared to last season's performance against Tottenham, when Arteta first came to this year, you can see the improvement we've made because we dominated for a good 80 minutes. Obviously, the last 10, we've got bits to work on, but still, compared to last year, we played defensive. This year, we're acting like a big team at least, trying to win, which is what we want to see. And North London derby victory, you can't beat that. It's not a trophy. It's not like the True said. It's not everything for us, but it's big. It's big enough.
Of course it is. Of course. I mean, at the end of the day, we had it a couple of weeks ago when we won the Manchester derby away at City, and you enjoy it for a day, but then you put things in perspective and realise like it's not the be all and end all. You're still behind them, but it's always nice to win. Mr. K.A. wanted to talk to you specifically about Lacazette. That is 3 derby goals in 3 home games that he's gotten. Obviously, he got into the team because Abba was dropped for being late. But just talk to me about the influence that Lacazette had in that team, considering that when the team sheet was given in, some Arsenal fans were down that Abba wasn't in the team. But Lacazette stepped up and done the business. Just talk to me about him.
No, Lacazette's been professional this year. I feel like he's done a job whenever he's played. It would be nice if he's got more goals, but I can't complain because he scored the winning goal. He scored the penalty for the weekend, and he does this every season. He goes on his purple patches, and I'm just waiting for him to do it for a whole season. And I think that's why when Arsenal fans saw him on his team sheet, they were like, "Oh no, I'm not sure," because you just don't know what Lacazette's going to turn up. Like we've all had our things to say about him, but then we've all had, like, in terms of bad things, but we've all had good things to say about him. So I'm not complaining about Lacazette. I wasn't too worried, to be honest. I was a bit concerned about not seeing Aubameyang there, but Lacazette leading the line, I wasn't concerned, and he got the goals as he has done many times this season.
Yeah, you're right, 100% right. And again, he came through and did it in the North London derby. All right, 10th in the league, 10 points off top 4, 5 points off Europa League spot, 4 points off Spurs, and obviously you're through to the next round in the Europa League. Truth, in terms of, I know the Europa is the priority because that's the realistic way of getting into the Champions League, but Arteta still said that he's going to fight on both fronts, in the league and in the Europa League. We had that conversation a few weeks ago about which one that you prioritize, but can he afford, because obviously it's a condensed league, games are flying thick and fast, can he afford to be playing important players in the league as well as the Europa League as we're getting to the crunch time of the end of the season?
Not anymore. Tony today was shattered in the Europa League game. We're playing him all the time. Xhaka, he's been playing every single game. And this guy is, Xhaka's a player whose mind can go at any second. So him being physically tired doesn't really help him mentally, to be honest. Partey isn't match fit, so he can't play all games. Oba's not the same age. And I think Saka, as you got injured against Tottenham and he had to come off. So we're getting to that point in the season where rotation is going to figure heavily. I said if we got through to the quarterfinals, then that's when we should start taking it seriously. We're through now to the quarterfinals. This is where the tournament really starts because all the serious teams that have a chance of winning it are here now. Teams like Dynamo Zagreb. They're up. They're going to be a real threat to play. You know, AC Milan United, Ajax are more than through. Villarreal, Roma. You know, these are the real teams that have a chance to win it, and I don't think that we can afford to have performances like we did today, to be honest. And we have to give our players enough rest time and actually focus on this tournament. I think the Premier League right now is going to take care of itself, because we're heading to that stage where there's a bunch of teams that's safe, and they're just going to play to go through the motions. There's a bunch of teams that's playing for the Europa League places, again, that's going to go through the motions. The relegation side, those are the teams that you have to be careful of, because they're fighting for, well, Sheffield United are gone, so you're probably only looking at what Fulham and West Brom. West Brom
we were getting to.
Yes, you know, so they're going to be battling West Brom not that much. Fulham, they're going to be a challenge. So I think the Premier League is going to take care of itself. We should rest the rest of our players for the Europa League.
No, Jay, do you concur with that statement?
Yeah, I agree. Definitely on Kieran Tierney today. He's one of our most important players. We can't be playing him in these kind of games.
He's been injured. He's been injury prone.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. We need to be protecting him the same way. Like at least with Partey, you can see he's kind of trying to ease him in. But it's clear we don't have a good enough left back to cover him. So
Cedric's okay.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't know why he didn't play today.
At the moment now, though.
That's the thing. He's better on the right at the moment than anyone that we've got.
Then what? Bellerina?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Cedric's our second best fullback.
Yeah, probably is. Tierney.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I think, to be honest, rotation is going to be key at the end. Like you said, 10 points off top 4, that's not going to happen.
But do you think we're 7 points off West Ham? We face them this weekend. If we beat them, we go 4 points behind. It starts to get congested again.
Yeah, but you know what is going to happen with us? We're going to win a couple games, yeah? And then we're going to play, I don't know, like say Fulham, and we're going to lose that game. Every time we get that hope this season, we're winning a couple games, we're looking up. Yeah, we're looking up, and then as soon as that it goes.
Yeah, I hear that.
I was saying that recently, wasn't it, on the podcast?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see who we get in the draw on Friday, and then let's move forward from there.
Yeah, draw's important.
Let's hope it's not Zagreb, as you said, truth. Let's just hope it's not Zagreb.
Hey, I'm scared of them now. What's his name?
They're scoring 3 goals tonight.
Man said they got bare plumbers and that.
Hey, man like Orsic is scoring a hat-trick against Tottenham.
Oh, mate. But yeah, just finally to wrap up on Arsenal, Mr. KA, what now is... where there's depending on how many games we have, there's 9 or 10 games left in the Premier League season and quarterfinal of the Europa League. What now is the expectation for Arteta?
From Arteta's point of view, I think he's going to focus on the Europa, because now we're just 3 games away. 3-1 off, or not. Yeah, 4, sorry, but we're just a handful of games away, whereas the league is not done in terms of European positions. But I kind of get what Truth was saying about how it's gonna sort itself out in terms of the top 4 teams, top 6 teams are gonna take each other out. Excuse me. The top 4 teams are gonna take each other out when they play each other. You got the relegation, so that basically things will kind of fall into place, but I don't think that we should completely forget about the league. I feel like we should just try to rotate as much as we can, and as you guys, Jay and Truth, were saying, know when to rest our key players. He should know the team and know their capabilities. Like, you've got all these technology now in sports, and where they monitor people's fitness, you should know sort of when to play them and when not to play them. So.
I just want to ask you guys, if we got the Europa League, finish 10th or 9th or 11th or whatever, what would be your thoughts about the season?
I think it'll be satisfactory, because
really?
Well, but it's Europa. It's a big trophy.
He said if you don't win the Europa League.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said we would
If we win Europe, of course.
Europa and in 10th. Okay, my bad. Okay, that's a completely different story.
Yeah, 100%.
I get your reaction. I was like, wait, why are you guys reacting like that? I was like, it's winning Europa.
I was like, is this how far Arsenal fans have fallen, bro? Like 20%.
I know where I stand. Like, I'd be disappointed, but I've never thought of this season as make or break for Arteta. I've always thought next season is make or break for him because I'm not the person.
Yeah, but 10th though.
Look, we're not Chelsea. We're not Chelsea. Processes are processes. You know, you can't rush it. It would be a poor season. Don't get me wrong. It would be a poor season, but there's no point at this stage when you can see that there's a plan in getting rid of him. You can see the players are coming together. The performance against Tottenham, the players could have easily said, "Wait, why are you punishing Oba? We're gonna drop our heads." But the performance showed that the players are definitely on side. They respected it. Arteta talked to the team. The team all said, boom, you know, he was right to do it. So they're all moving in the same direction. To sack him now and then get a new process going on now is totally pointless.
I think as well, we shouldn't underestimate the work he's done this season, getting rid of the German lot. And you heard Leno the other day in his interview, he said that it was a bad atmosphere at the start of the season.
Fair enough.
Since we got rid of them, you think about it. See what them two did at Schalke, Mustafi and Kolasinac, got the guys sacked. Imagine that. And the guy said, if I could change something, I wouldn't buy the players I bought in January. So thank God they did. Thank God they did.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I'm thinking you're at the bottom of your league. Yeah, you haven't kept a clean sheet all season, and you go sign Kolasinac and Mustafi. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do?
Fam, they're trying to prepare for what is it called? What is it, Bundesliga B or whatever it is, bro?
I don't even think so. I think they might get straight relegated to the third division.
Oh dear, but yeah, all right, that's fine. There you have it, people. Arsenal fans happy with their result, through in the next round of the Europa League. So we'll just see what happens.
One North London team's got to make it through, isn't it?
Of course, Mr. KA, and saying that swiftly moves me on to the white side of North London.
And then he's part of my water.
That sounded so weird.
But the kit's white. You lot saying North London is red. They say North London is white. You know what I mean?
That's right,
to take from that what you will. But 2-1 loss from Spurs.
So what was that?
2-1 loss for Spurs.
So they lost 2-1.
Yeah, to Arsenal, and then obviously, if you didn't know, they got kicked out of the Europa League by a bunch of plumbers and mechanics, bro.
It's
like
happened
Dynamo
again.
Zagreb.
It's happened again.
Truth. Let's just focus on North London derby first. Obviously, you said Maureen, boring tactics. It was no Maureen masterclass. Was it cowardly from Mourinho to go to the Emirates? Bear in mind, you lot are behind them and play.
He is I can't even say it. I was going to say, but I'm aware of those Me Too movement and stuff. So let me keep my language clean. I'm about to come, but carry on.
Was he a coward for the way how he set up to play at the Emirates?
This guy, Maureen. When are people gonna see the light that he is finished? He is finished. I don't care. Look, it is acceptable. All of this, everything that's happened, including today's result, including the North London derby, it is acceptable, all of that. Even if Tottenham were to finish 10th, it would be acceptable if he played proper football. But when you play the way he does, you cannot afford to be embarrassed, whether it's a derby, whether it's a Europa League, whatever. You can't afford to play that football and lose. And that's what he's doing. And this is why he's finished. And this is why he's so easy to predict. If you go play Tottenham, you know how they're going to play. They're going forward. He's literally right now. I think Ole's even ahead of him now in terms of tactics.
Oh my days.
Not in terms of tactics or maybe players, because Mourinho playing attacking football, they are just clueless. They are clueless. They literally say, you got Bale, you got Kane, you got Son, go and win us the game. That's literally what he says. Same like I bet Ole says the same thing, but there's a bit more pattern to Ole's play. You know, you got Shaw burning down the left. You got get Bruno Fernandes on the ball. Mourinho
To do what?
Mourinho didn't have anyone to get on the ball, and this is the issue. He's just how could you how could you go into the North London derby like that, yeah, and have one shot on target in the first half, like, and you've won that what 5 games in a row? They won 5 games ago, and you go into North derby like that. He's finished. He is finished out here, man. He's done.
No, listen, I hear you. Mr. KA, as much as Maureen takes the blame for the way how he's set up, did the Tottenham players freeze? Did they get stage fright? Because as much as the tactics would have not been spot on, and we know what Mourinho does, surely the players should have known, even for a first half under Maureen, that was unacceptable. Did they freeze on the big occasion and basically threw Maureen to the wolves? Because they knew that he would get the blame for the way how they played in that not even the first half, the first 80 minutes.
Well, I'm not sure if they threw him to the wolves, but I think that's their mentality. I think they've been conditioned so much by Mourinho to play that reserve type of football, to play that defensive style, because they've even come out and said it in interviews before themselves, where they would say Mourinho hasn't instructed us to do this, but we've just reverted to the type, and that we played defensive, and we've ended up losing the game, or we've ended up drawing the game. So they've got this heavy reliance on Kane and Son, and now to extend Bale a little bit. But we saw it about a month ago when Kane wasn't there. Came back, I think it was for the West Brom game, won like 2-0, I think it was. Something like that. And I don't know, it's just a mentality thing where it's Kane or bust, or it's 1-0 or bust. I don't know. It's only when Bell came in where we started seeing those like 3-0, 4-0 scorelines smacking up Burnley. But before that, they were just lackluster. They were boring to watch. I was falling asleep. Like, they were already a boring side. But at least their bottle was entertaining. But I don't know, like nowadays I fall asleep watching them, because it's just that they haven't got Son now. So it just gets worse now, because now they're gonna go up into the game, because Son has such an importance to their team.
He's the outlet.
It's exactly, in terms of energy, in terms of motivation. Like, he's a positive, forward-thinking player. So they're gonna lose the supply line on the width, and Kane hasn't got his boy. So we're gonna see how they play. But yeah, it's a mentality thing. I don't know. I wouldn't say they threw him under the bus, because I think they just didn't do themselves justice. They threw themselves under the bus.
I think Mourinho threw his team under the bus. That's probably why they went up there today.
I think so too, 100%.
Yeah. Because after North London derby, he's like, oh, it was shocking. Big players went missing. They're probably thinking, wait, you told us to play in this disgusting defensive football, and now you're throwing us underneath the bus. That's why they probably said, you know what, Dynamo Zagreb, have this win. I wouldn't be surprised.
They're not the type of team that you call out and get a reaction from, I don't think.
No.
Like, look at their players.
They haven't got characters, bro. They haven't got characters like that. Bro, as Expression said, they got a Colombian PS4 and they've got trash Doherty, bro.
I'll tell you what, under Pochettino, regardless whether they lost or not, we knew it was a North London derby.
Yep.
In terms of what we knew, this one was not a North London derby.
No, but it came in like a testimonial, to be honest. That's what it came in. It came in like a testimonial. Jay, we saw after that idiot snake Lamella, bro. I hate him, bro. Ever since he did what he did to Martial. He's a pussy, bro. I hate him. But we saw after he got sent off that Spurs all of a sudden decided to turn up.
Oh, no.
So if you're going to mention Lamella, sorry, you have to talk about the goal, though, man. You have to give him some props.
Oh
as well.
yeah. He
Yeah,
scored
listen.
that goal. Like,
That
see,
goal was-
that goal was
Mm.
nice. I mean, the truth mentioned it already. I don't.
That goal was
I
sweet,
rate the
man.
goal, but I don't rate him.
But I reacted like Regulon like, when I saw the goal.
But why did it take the last 10 minutes, if you include extra time, and a sending off for Spurs to then react and actually go for the game? Why couldn't that have done from minute one, considering it's a derby?
You know, I think it was a bit down to us as well, though. Like, we did not look after that lead. Well, so as soon as they went down to 10 men, we were giving away some easy passes, and as soon as we did that, we gave away the control. And obviously, from a dead ball set piece, Harry Kane, he can strike the ball. He can strike. I thought it was gonna go in both times.
Oh man.
And when they hit the post and then set, I was like, oh, jeez. But no, I think it's a bit of both. Like, I think Mourinho, he thought, like, if I play Bell, Lucas, Kane, Son, people will think I'm playing attacking football, but they didn't even play. They didn't even come out their half.
This is the illusion that he used to do at United as well. He used to do this fake illusion that I'm playing attacking players, but there's no point in playing attacking players if you're telling them to stay in your half and only wait for the counter attack.
Mourinho has never had the style of play. He's always relied on individual players and their moments. Like when you used to have Drogba up front, you just cleared it. Keeper cleared it. Drogba would do whatever he wanted. Everyone knew he would just barge off a guy and score a lot.
Or Fat Frank would score a deflected goal,
That's
or someone win a penalty and then he'll score and then everyone thinks he's a savior, bro.
Yeah, he went through a streak of getting those.
I'm telling you,
anyway.
like I rate Mourinho for what he did, and when he came out, it was not even a new style. He trained under the greats, the Cruyff, Robson.
That's what I don't understand.
No, but that's the thing. He trained under them just to learn how to beat that type of football. So now it's come full circle now where his type of football has been trained against the beat, how to stop the counter-attack, how to play against the deep block. So it's come full circle now, and he just can't get out of this mentality. Like as people say, he's a dinosaur, man.
No, it's old tactic, old tactics. So that makes it now 11 years since Spurs has run at the Emirates. Just wanted to wrap up on Spurs, obviously out of the Europa League, Dynamo Zagreb.
They Spursed it up.
Listen, you get beat 3-0 by part-time footballers, bruv. Like, all of them, man, they should be docked their wages for at least 2 weeks. You lose the North London derby and then you go and lose to part-time footballers, bruv. Painters and decorators. Now you're taking the piss, fam. You're taking the piss out of the Tottenham fans. But they go back. Obviously, we're gonna do our predictions at the end. But they listen to their next 5 games. Away at Villa this weekend. Away at Newcastle. United at home. Everton away, and then the cup final against City. Surely, going out the Europa League now, everything is focused on getting Champions League football and winning that League Cup final against City. If Maureen doesn't make top 4 and doesn't get that League Cup, does he need to go at the end of the season, Mr. KA?
I really hope they don't win. I really hope. That's just as a petty Arsenal fan. And coming to Mourinho, I think how many seasons has he been at Spurs now?
This will be his
second. Yeah. So I think they'll give him another year, and I don't think it's I don't think his neck is on the line after this. It will be important because Spurs don't get too many trophy opportunities. And yes, before they say in the comments, "Oh, we win Champions League," fine. They don't come around too often, and so it's either you're challenging for the league or you're challenging for a cup. It's like pick or choose. So I think next year they will probably be challenging for something, and I think Mourinho will be there. So I don't know. I don't think he has that pressure of like, oh, my job's on the line. I think the pressure will come from it's a trophy that Spurs haven't won in how many years now? I've lost count. when the last time they won a trophy?
2008.
2007. Oh, it's 8.
2007,
7.
2008,
Well,
yeah.
that's a lot of dust in the cabinet then.
13 years.
13 years of dust. Yeah. But yeah, so no, I think that's where the
You're not
pressure will
talking
come
about.
from.
They got the Audi Cup, bro.
Oh yeah, I nearly got that DVD for Christmas. I forgot about the Audi Cup. I forgot about that cup. But yeah, no. So I think that's where the pressure will come from because the fans will really want a trophy, and it'd be funny because they'll win it and they'll be like, "Oh, it's a Mickey Mouse trophy," but deep down, they'll be glad that monkey's off their back.
No, it's true. Truth. Surely he can't stay if he doesn't win. The whole reason why he went there was to bring silverware to the club. Surely this is their best season of winning anything. Because as I said, if they don't make top 4 and they don't win a trophy, they're not going to have any money to spend in the transfer window. So surely he has to win the League Cup.
Okay, if I'm Mourinho and the fans, I say forget about the league. Up until that League Cup, I say, make sure all your players are fit. Even the game before, I don't even care if you're in top 4 by then or 2 points outside the top 4.
There's a few weeks until the
leave
cup
it alone.
final. So
focus on that League Cup and go and try win that League Cup because, as you said, that's what he was brought in to do. He was brought in to win a trophy. I think mentally winning a trophy. I know financially it's not as good as being in the top 4, but mentally winning a trophy for your fans, for the players, for the club means more right now than top 4, I believe. For what's his name, Daniel Levy, he wants that dough, he wants that cash.
100%.
So top 4 is a lot more important. And I know a lot of you Tottenham fans are trying to sweep under the carpet, but that stadium is a £1 billion hole in your pocket. And coronavirus, you haven't seen the results of the next financial year coming, but it's going to be desperate. So I say decide right now what you want, because it's going to be some kind of disappointment either way. Either you're going to get the League Cup and then nothing afterwards. I'll be surprised if they get both. And if it's nothing, then I'm going to enjoy the downfall for Tottenham for the next few years because because if it's nothing, that means they have to sack Mourinho and give him a huge payout, which he don't mind. He's been used to that for the last 5 or 6 years. So he'll be there with a huge payout, which Tottenham can't even afford, or they keep him and get ready for the 3rd season syndrome of Mourinho. So
where it all goes to shit.
If the fans were in the stadium by now, they'll be out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. If the fans were in the stadium, they would never put up with losing the North London derby and then going out to Zagreb. Like they would be calling for his head. I know they're calling for his head online, but in the stadium, he would have been crucified. But we'll see what happens with Tottenham Hotspur.
Let's sit back and enjoy
see what happens. The Arsenal fans will sit back and enjoy it, and hopefully Spurs won't win the League Cup and then they'll have to sell Son and Kane, and United can probably try and snap them up. But anyway, we haven't spoken about this, and I think considering that half the big teams aren't playing on the weekend, we thought, why not? Yeah. The relegation battle is heating up down there. There's 10 points between Leeds in 12th and Fulham in 18th. Right, but when you look at it realistically, I picked 3 teams to focus on because I don't believe that Burnley and Southampton are really in it, but I think they can influence who goes down. Okay. But I wanted to look at the 3 teams: Fulham, Brighton, and Newcastle. I wanted to start with Fulham first. They've got 9 games left in the league, and they've still got to play Arsenal, Chelsea, and United. But 3 of their last 4 games are Burnley, Southampton, and then Newcastle on the final day. Truth, in terms of what you've seen from Fulham of recent times, do you believe that they can escape the drop with the performances that they've been putting in recently?
As of right now, yes. But they might have peaked a little bit too soon. Only because there's so many games left. And all it takes is a few bad results for you to start, saying, I think the game against Leeds is very important. Like, I know they probably weren't expecting to beat Man City, and it's a loss that they will take. But then if they lose to Leeds, then it becomes 2 losses in a row. And then Newcastle just need to get, one odd result out of that. Brighton probably just need to get one odd result. And then that gap looks like a chasm. So as of right now, the way they're playing, I'm not going to lie, even against Man City, their players on the ball were controlling it with their sole of their feet. They were trying flicks. I was like, okay. Parker turned them into prime Brazil. These guys are confident. But as I said, let's just hope that they didn't peak too quickly. But I do enjoy watching them as of right now. They're putting up a huge fight, and they do deserve, as of right now, form-wise, they do deserve to stay up based on this form.
No, I hear that completely, and I think you've summed it up quite well. Jay, how much? I know obviously we've still got games to go, but considering in the start of the season, everyone were like Fulham were a write-off. Everyone thought they were 100% going down. How much credit does Scott Parker deserve for galvanizing the squad and getting them to be in the conversation of they might just escape here? How much credit does he deserve?
A lot. If I'm honest, I had written them off too, because the way they started the season, they couldn't continue playing football like that in the Premier League. They were just getting destroyed by every single team. But credit to Parker, he changed the formation. He brought in the right players. I think they were lacking some defenders at the start of the season, like some of their starters. I think that's made a big change. That's made a big change. But he's made them resilient. They were quite a few points off like relegation like a month ago. They went on a good run. And Newcastle as well, one of the teams that are there, they're missing St. Maximin, Almiron, Callum Wilson. They're all out.
We'll get to Newcastle. One of the ones that we're talking about. Obviously, Tu's not here to talk about his team, but Mr. KA, as I said, 3 of Fulham's 4 last games are Burnley at home, Southampton away, and then Newcastle on the final day. Now, as much as Burnley and Southampton are in it because they've only on 33 points, we don't think that they're necessarily going to go down unless they go on a bad run. But have Fulham, those three games, can Fulham rely on those 3 games to stay up, taking points off the teams around them? Is that the philosophy that they're going to have to use going into this run in the season, at the end of the season?
No, I don't think so, because I think the confidence that they have now, they should feel like they can go into any game and get something out of it, I believe. Right now, because you just look at the game they played against City. They held City to 0-0 for a majority of the game, and it surprised quite a few people. And City, I think they won 2-0 in the end, but it wasn't 3. It was 3, but the 3-0 scoreline wasn't as representative of the whole game. They scored them in in the second half, as Truth just said. So I feel like Fulham should have the confidence that they can get anything out of any game. They're defending well. They've got Maja up front who's getting goals now. They learned that Mitrovic weren't the one. So Scotty Parker, I don't know why it took him a while just to kind of find his team, as kind of like Jay said, just figure out his lineup, figure out the defense, what players to play in defense, what players would work up front. I don't know what it was, but it's working now, and I don't feel like they need to wait to the end. They should have the confidence to get points out of all remaining games, whether it's 1 or 3 points.
No, I hear that, and that is true. And we'll have to see what Fulham does. Obviously, they got that big game against Leeds.
I'm not surprised about Parker turning it around though. I don't know if you remember. I don't know who it was. I think it was when he played for West Ham and they were losing, and then they came in the second half, and then someone said that Parker gave some rousing, freaking Braveheart speech. And
and he came back and won.
I think Noble said they brought tears to his eyes. So, so he's probably giving them speeches in that room when they go behind him. Like, I hate he's a man for the speeches, so I'm not surprised.
Listen, he's obviously done something, because the turnaround that they've had to even be in this position is incredible. And we shall see, because the football is probably the best out of the three teams that we're going to, well, it's up there with the other two teams that we're going to talk about in terms of the way how they play, but we'll see what happens with them. In terms of Brighton,
They're such a weird team, such an enigma. Right?
Yeah,
they are.
they
That's
are.
the perfect word.
That's
the perfect word for them.
I mean, Graham
Potter.
Come on, AC Milan.
Yeah, Graham Potter. Well,
Sorry.
he had some
Sorry.
playing good football. That's what he was going to say.
No. Who's that on the? Sorry, no, it's not Pogba. I thought it was Pogba. Graham Potter. He's got them playing some good football. I mean, he's never swayed from that philosophy. I mean, the whole reason why they got rid of what was his name? Oh, what was his name?
Hutton.
Yeah, Chris Hughton. Thanks, Jay. The whole reason why they got rid of Chris Hughton is because they wanted a change in style, and he's brought that to the club. But it's just so up and down. With that form, Truth, can Brighton avoid the drop? I mean, I know they've got a couple players in there, Trossard, Welbeck, Mopé, but because their form's so up and down, can they avoid the drop?
Yeah, it's literally what you said, because they have enough to, but as K said, they're an enigma, because sometimes they look like they play good, but then they don't get enough goals, and then it's like,
But this is it.
it's so strange. But that win on the weekend was huge for them.
Massive.
It was huge. It did give them a kind of a cushion with a game in hand. So I think Brighton would just about be safe, but it is precarious where, you know, a run of 2 bad results can leave them in there. I don't know what their run is like. What's their run? I'm gonna ask that question. I'm gonna ask that question in a second. Okay, go on.
Yeah,
that's it. It's precarious.
Obviously, this is to the whole group. Just listen to it, right? Okay, so in their run, they've got to go to United away. They've got Everton at home, and they got Chelsea away. Their last 3 games are West Ham at home, City at home, and Arsenal away on the final day.
Jeez.
Ouch.
All right. Now, obviously, that's difficult, but you would anticipate actually,
they would hope
that there's that's the possibility. They would hope that you lot have a Europa League final to look forward to. They will be hoping that the league will be done. The league will be done, but they'll be hoping that City will be looking at FA Cup final, right? And they'll be hoping that West Ham have enough points to either solidify the Europa League, because I don't think they're going to make the Champions League. But if that's not the case, right, Mr. KA, can Brighton survive? Because they've got 10 games left. Those are 6 of them, right? Can they survive the drop with all those games coming up, considering that all the teams could be bar City and Arsenal, but the teams before that will be playing for something?
Yeah.
Do you know another thing that we haven't mentioned? I'll get back to that. This whole conversation about the Premier League wanting fans to be back to be in the last 2 games. There's going to be 1 game at the end of the season, but teams I heard complained and said that it's not home and away advantage. It's not going to be fair when you've got things to play for. So can you imagine like the last 2 games and fans are in the stadium and like Brighton have got all that to play for, but then they're playing City, West Ham, and Arsenal. It's going to be, it's going to be. I don't know how they're going to get themselves up for it, but like if they're going to have to pull out a performance, it's going to be in front of their fans on the last 2 games of the season. And they're just such a strange team, as I mentioned earlier on, and Truth said. Like look back to that Crystal Palace game. They dominated, had so many shots. Crystal Palace had 2 shots in the box and they won 2-1. Or that game when they...
That West Brom game when they missed 2 penalties.
That's what I was about to say, when they missed 2 penalties. I was like...
How are you even trying to miss 2 penalties in 1 game? Like, what's wrong with you?
It's like they play, as I think Truth said, they can play like Brazil on certain occasions, but then when they get in front of goal, it's like instead of Ronaldo, R9 or Rivaldo, they've got Denilson taking their shots, like trying to score for them. Like
it's true.
No, it's mad. It's mad. And as I said, Brighton are probably the most unpredictable down at that bottom. So we don't know what's going to happen with them. But with the running that they got to pick up points from somewhere. And
do you remember I said last week, we kind of touched on it, I think a few weeks ago, and I said, Brighton, we're going to be safe. I think Truth said, you said that they were going to be the part of the bottom three. And I was like, nah, they're a good team. They play good football, but they're just trying to do everything to prove me wrong.
It's true, but we got to move on, people, because we are running out of time. We got to talk about Tu's team, Newcastle, bro. 10 games left for them. I mean, bro. Jay, as you mentioned earlier, no St. Maxi, no Wilson, no Almiron. Wilson's out till April. Almiron could be back for the Brighton game, and St. Maxi's due back after international break. How important are those three going to be for Newcastle in this running?
That is Newcastle. Newcastle are a completely different team, just with St. Maxi in the team.
Because
he's basically a Brighton as a player. You don't know what's happening.
St. Maxi, the Ronaldinho incarnate.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Spirit of the
game. Nah, Newcastle, honestly, I didn't realize they were coming back after the international break. That gives them some hope, because I thought they were out. If they're out, then there's no chance. They've got nothing going forward if them three are not in. But
as Tooth would say, they got Joe Linton.
Wait, I swear he still hasn't scored this season.
He hasn't.
Didn't one of the pundits just throw him under the bus and said about how can you sort of expect to win a game when you got Joe Linton leading the line? I can't remember. I'm paraphrasing, but one of the pundits said it. I was just laughed when I heard.
To be fair, Newcastle with the one team, I think more than likely they're the likeliest to drop down.
No, it's gonna be a mad one. I mean, but the glimmering light is that hopefully those guys are back. Because if those guys are back, it changes the whole dynamic.
They need Wilson
of
back.
The team.
That's the one they need back.
Yeah. They need Wilson, but they need St. Maxi and Almiron, because that's the gold dust. That's the something different.
Not Almiron, Maxi maybe, but not Almiron.
Oh no, Almiron's their energy guy.
Almiron plays good with Maximum.
Yeah. With those two, if they got Callum Wilson, it changes the dynamic of Newcastle completely. But Truth. I just want to say the games that Newcastle have got left. So they've got the Brighton game, which is massive, but they've got Spurs at home, they've got West Ham at home, they got Liverpool away, they got you lot at home, they got Leicester, they got Man City, all before their last two games against Sheffield United and then Fulham away.
That's not too bad. It's not too bad. When you look at the games outside the teams. Yeah, when you look at the game outside the, obviously the obvious hard ones, you're looking at a game day where you could think that they could just snatch draws and just about live and claw themselves just outside the relegation zone. I mean, you look at Burnley, not really playing for nothing. The Brighton game is huge.
Massive.
Tottenham expect Newcastle to win that easy, probably 3-0 or something. West Ham aren't really going to outscore you. They might beat you 1-0, but you're going to be in the game. Liverpool, we don't know what's going to be happening with them. Let's say Leicester won't win. Man City, they won't win against us. Depends what type of team we put out. Against Sheffield United are down. And then Fulham's going to be a big one. Fulham, that might be a relegation decider on the last game.
It might be, but
they've got enough fixtures there to be safe, but Newcastle are on a slippery slope right now. They're on a slippery slope. And as you said, they don't have the players. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, Steve Bruce is struggling, Mr. KA. And without those players, he doesn't really have much to do. But just a final point on Newcastle for all of you lot. But Mr. K, from you first. If Newcastle go down, how detrimental is that going to be to the football club? Out of all three of those teams,
it's going to be big because Newcastle are, in terms of nationwide, they're a big club. in terms of the size of the club. But they've been down before. But it's going to be different being in a pandemic, coming off the pandemic. And as we touched on earlier on, as the truth talks about, it's gonna hurt their pockets. It's gonna hurt a lot. So I don't know what Dean Ashley's gonna pull out his sleeve this time, but he's gonna try and delve into those magic bag or whatever.
Well, Sports Direct, bruv. Sports Direct.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I personally don't want to see Newcastle down again. They're one of those clubs that just has to be in the Premier League. Going down right now for any Premier League side that is a Premier League side is too big. I don't think Newcastle can afford to go down. Sheffield United, West Brom are used to being a Euro club, so they can go down. Even Fulham, I think Fulham belong in the Premier League, so you know, for them it will hurt. I
would love Brighton.
Also, Fulham are like
to go down.
Yeah, I know. I'm Brighton go down. Flip him more.
Because we can make a couple signings there.
So are we?
I know, man, like Lampley, boy.
Lamptey, Bissouma. Bissouma is a beast.
Bissouma's a baller as well. Are we unanimous that out of all three of those teams, we prefer to see Brighton go down?
100%.
Yeah, that's what
I don't mind.
Although Newcastle go down, St. Maximum, by Willian.
I'll be happy with that.
Mr. KA wouldn't.
I've made my bed. I've made my bed, so nah.
It's true. We got to wrap up with that one, but we're unanimous that we want Brighton out. All three of those teams go down. As Paul Pogba has single-handedly brought United through in the Europa League
made the change
to the
at the correct time.
Single-handedly by himself came back from injury with an injury, probably still playing injured, and by himself with no help because there was no Martial and there was no Bailly. Single-handedly told Bruno to sit down. I got this. Told Ole, I'm coming on. I don't care what you say, and brought us through to the Europa League quarterfinal to join Arsenal because Spurs are shit. But yeah, truth. Fucking hell, I think we won again. But go on to move on to the predictions.
Yeah, I told you. Back to our prediction.
I wasn't there last week.
Hey.
Just to mention, KA did win the weekend before, but he wasn't here last week, so
there we go.
He got one on the board. But I brought it back this week. You know, I couldn't allow these scumbags to come and, you know, take my football guru title. You know, I'm the football guru. This week it was a hard one to predict. There was no perfect results, but I did.
Yeah, there was. No
one got any perfect.
Didn't Jay predict 3-0 for City?
No, he predicted 3-1.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, unlucky.
Yeah, so I got 4 correct results. The only one I got wrong was the Leeds Chelsea. Everyone else only got 1 or 2. I think TJ got 2. He predicted the.
I think I got 1 too.
You got the Man City Fulham correct result, and you got the Liverpool Wolves. You're the only one predicted Liverpool to win, actually, surprisingly. So yeah, but everyone else cleaned up easily. I stopped going against United. TJ keeps going against United. It's coming back to bite him. Predict United are going to win. I guarantee you, Ole would be gone.
Well, there's no United in this one, so.
So we're going to get into this week. This week should be a bit more simple. It's only 4
fixtures. Yeah.
Only 4 fixtures. Let's start up with the big one. Bottom of the league, but very big for Fulham, and that is Leeds versus Fulham. Is it Fulham or Leeds versus Fulham?
Yeah, Fulham at home.
Fulham at home,
no.
Yeah.
Is it? I thought Leeds were at home.
No, Fulham at home.
Premier League matches. Yeah, Fulham at home.
Fulham at home.
Yeah. Let's start. Let's go to K for this one.
It's a tough one. Leeds are playing away, so they're not playing on that terrible pitch and they're falling all over the place. But Fulham are good. They've turned into a good team, as we talked about. Yeah. So I am gonna go for I don't know. It depends with Bamford. Bamford, if he's out, so John, I'm gonna go 0-0 because we don't.
Really? What? A Leeds game and you're going 0-0. You don't have to let you just go.
Yeah, remember 0-0 at Chelsea.
0-0 last time.
Yeah, but that's
0-0.
Chelsea
they-
struggle to score.
Well, they haven't got Bamford, man. Oh, that's all right. I'm changing 1-1. I'm going.
I talked him into it. I talked him into
1-1.
That's what I want to do.
I want 1-1. I'm going 1-1. I'm sticking.
1-1, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 1-1. Jay?
2-1 Leeds.
2-1 Leeds. Okay. TJ?
I'm gonna go 2-1 Fulham.
2-1 Fulham.
I can't even go back to my 0-0, you know.
It's been locked in.
I'm going 2-2.
Ooh.
Yeah. 2-2 or 3-2?
To who?
I'm going 2-2.
Fair. That's fair.
I think it's going to be high scoring.
Listeners, if it's 0-0, yeah, back me up. That's the one I went for in the
No,
comments.
no, I talked you into that. Peer
Back me
pressure.
up.
Don't give in to peer pressure.
That was my first response.
Let's go Brighton, Newcastle. This one, it's a big one. I say it's got 1-1
Relegation.
written all over it. Two teams that just struggle to score. 1-1. Okay.
This one I'm going 0-0.
No.
I'm going 0-0.
Are you sure you're gonna go 0?
I'm sticking to 0-0 on this one. I'll stick to 0-0.
0-0. Okay. TJ?
I'm gonna go 2-0 Brighton.
2-0 Brighton. 2-0 Brighton?
Mm.
Okay.
Who's getting the goals?
Welbeck and
Vecchio.
Trossard.
Okay.
Not Dunk from a corner. Put him in my team, by the way. Jay?
3-1 Brighton.
3-1. Ooh. You think Newcastle are going down?
Yeah, well, until they get the players back, they're not going to be winning games.
Next game, huge game for Tottenham season. Away at Villa.
This is their game in hand as well, I think, isn't it? One of their game in hands.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure this one.
Oh, it's another. These games there's some weird games. It's like they're funny matchups. So Villa, they haven't been as good defensively as they were early on in the season, but Son might not be playing. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 1-0 Spurs.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
1-0 Spurs.
Yeah, because everyone's expecting them to lose.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
They
They just need one goal and then they're sharp shot.
I don't know. Go on, TJ.
Jack back.
That's what I was about to say. I
What was the
think
question?
it's
Really?
too soon for him.
No, he's
I
not back.
think
I don't think he's back.
yeah. You think he's been after the international break? He'll be back.
I'm gonna go 1-1.
1-1. I'll go next. I don't like predicting a Spurs win. I'm gonna have to bend my rules slightly for this week, only because there's 4 fixtures and I really want to win.
Everyone
Actually,
has their price. Look at that.
I'll be lying to myself. I think Villa are gonna do them over. I think people are gonna start getting out their nails in Mourinho's coffin this game. I'm gonna go 2-1 to Villa. Jay?
Yeah.
I'm glad you went before me because obviously as the serial winner, I can follow you. So I'm gonna go 2-1 as well.
Don't give this guy a big head, man.
Listen, this guy is giving a man false dawn, man.
Football guru and everything. He sold me on that, you know. So here we go. I'm trusting you on this one. If not, I was going 1-0 Spurs, but I'm gonna go 2-1 Villa.
This guy. West Ham, Arsenal. I'll let Jay start with this one.
Okay. Wait. International break. So we ain't got nothing to worry about. We should play our main team. So 3-1 Arsenal.
3-1 Arsenal. TJ?
It's away from home, though.
Yeah.
I know, but it's not really, that ground is not that, it's so big, you don't feel like anything.
West Ham was so disappointing against United, but Jesse Lingardinho's there, so we have to be we have to be a bit scared of him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 0-0.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think we'll score?
I'm gonna go 0-0.
Shocking. KA?
I don't think that's that shocking because they've been defending well, West Ham. But I'm gonna go for like you said, I can see Lingard or Antonio scoring, so I'm gonna go 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1.
We haven't kept a clean sheet in like 16 games or 14 games, something like that. They said.
Yeah, so I can see them scoring. Lingard he wants to dance again. And he likes to perform against Arsenal because he knows the social media comments.
It's a hard one to predict. I didn't like the way we played today, to be honest. I thought we should have gone out and made a statement in terms of Europa League. I think it was good resting Partey for a little bit. You know what? I'm gonna go 3-2. High scoring game. I think West Ham are gonna have to come out and attack because they were so poor against United. I think they're shocking. So I think they'll come out and play, and that's gonna suit us to a T. 3-2 Arsenal.
Can we just make a quick request here? YouTube in the comments from next week. Can we get the truth to go first on these predictions?
I know.
So that we can all get an idea.
I like to get a clue of what people are saying.
That's what I'm saying.
I know that. And then he goes,
let's switch it up from the next time, yeah?
It's like them tactics, slide tactics.
There's Maureen tactics, bro. There's Maureen tactics. Is that it, Truth?
Yep, that's it. That's
4
games.
That's it, guys. That's it from us. A very, very good one, as usual.
Well done. Just well done to United. Well done, Arsenal. Flying the flag for England. All the Premier League teams that got through in the Champions League. Well done, Chelsea. Well done, City, Liverpool, flying the flag for all of us. And there always has to be one to let us down. That team over there in North London.
It's such a shame that Rangers couldn't get through, or else that would have been a full house. But there we go, people. Listen, Spurs fans are gonna have to bury their head in the sand for a little while and come back up before that League Cup final because they're just gonna be getting it left, right, and centre. But that's it from us, guys. As usual, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Get them likes up, get the subscriptions out, and all that good stuff. And don't forget to put stuff in the comments. Bask in the glory of Arsenal's win and getting through to the next stage of the Europa League. Take the piss out of Spurs as much as you want because everyone else will. And let us know who you think is going to get relegated. Do you think it's going to be Brighton? Do you think it's going to be Newcastle? Do you think it's going to be Fulham? Or could Burnley or Southampton get dragged into it? Do you think West Brom could do the unbelievable again and escape relegation? Let us know what you think. That's going to be it for the review/preview show as we go into the shitty international break. But don't worry, we got so much content still coming out for you. We got UFC 260, got the preview and the review for that. We got Povetkin versus White 2. We got the NBA trade deadline is next week, so you'll be getting that content. And we're going to be doing something a little bit different when it comes to football. We're going to be doing, actually, we'll let you not wait for that until we decide what we're going to do for the football, but you're not going to want to miss it. But I want to say thank you to my guys, The Truth, Mr. K, and Jay. Thank you very much, guys.
Pleasure, lads.
Thank you, T.
Jay, when we actually go, you don't need to turn it off. You can wait because you left the last time. You left prematurely the last time.
Oh, did I?
He's ready. He's ready to go.
He was ready, but
he's an important and busy man. He's got things to do.
I'm telling
Mafia
you.
done.
Here we go.
But yes, people, as usual, as we say, stay safe out there. Keep your family safe. We're coming up to the next stage of this roadmap to the end of lockdown. So let's just keep it going. And we shall, as Paul Pogba again single-handedly brought United through to the Europa League quarter-final. We shall see you very, very soon. Peace.
Peace.
Love.